Welcome everybody, this is Carlos from Omega Plus Trend and the Forecast Mastery program. So here's a follow-up on a recent continuation from yesterday's price action analysis. There hasn't been any change, right? So the market just pretty much pulled back into the synergy zone support one and hovered just around that. I'm on a 4-hour chart, so this is pretty much the activity so far as of this morning. When I switch to a 5-minute, I'll show you the position that I'm in. And there's absolutely no difference other than the fact that I should have been holding a position earlier coming off of the synergy zone support one area and holding steady on it. Now, neither of the targets that I have left to the upside has been hit. And based on a bigger time frame, in this case, a 1-hour chart, the 25,278 still at large, right? So I'm aiming for that targeting and focusing that eventually that level will be hit at any given moment. And for the good notion of continuing on the micro contracts, so people believe that, micro contracts are good, but they just, you don't make much of it. If you see it that way, it kind of makes sense, depending if you're going for very tight opportunities like a couple of ticks. If you talk about ticks in trading, then you shoot yourself in the foot. You should be talking about points. So market volatility is so high in the indices nowadays that you should not be talking about ticks. Unless you're a scalper, and then again, you need thick skin and high frequency of trading just to make it work, which is fine. We respect that. I'm going for points, right? So if we give you context of what I'm talking about, from this entry to the first target would be 44 points. Second one here would be a 68, 113, 156, and so on and so forth. So this is what I'm after, right? I'm not here to penny pinch a couple of ticks here and there because that doesn't make sense. I'm already risking money into the market. Might as well make the most out of it. The market left behind, this is a previous day close. As the market opened, they kind of gravitate trying to go into the close. That's typically their first initiation of a tendency going back to the mean, right? Into the close and then boost up. So my initial stop loss is always below these zones. I basically elaborate very clearly of what to expect in those areas. So just to have context, this is a new zone for me. So placing my stop just below this zone is the logical standpoint until the first target is hit, right? And again, I'm on a 1-hour and 4-hour chart. That's my go-to. When I drop down to be more specific, I'll go into the 15-minute. All right. Now, these are other targetings that I have in place. In today's activity, though, I want to go into the blue line level 25,346 for the longer period of time. However, it's all depending on this, what we call the slingshot, right? Depending on this one is going to be the decision point if the market indeed is going to push through, continue higher or not. Okay. So having said that, let me see if I can unveil more updated targets just for you and your benefit. Again, I'm looking for long-term perspective. We go back into the OT today. We go and check. Today, Tuesday, October 7th, right here, low impact report all across the board. However, FOMC, 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 and so on and so forth. What does these mean? Federal are speaking continuously. Basically, a lot of speaking engagements going on throughout the day. And even though they're low, it's coming from the Feds. Anything from the Feds is quite weird. But I'm going to give you the trick of the trade, a 5-second identifier if I should be buying or selling.
Bullish trend
it's very
in
simple.
play.
If you see the VIX here, all across the board, the VIX negative, I'm going to be going long ES and NQ, period, nothing else. I don't need to think twice. That's the beauty and the power of the OT. If you try to go nuclear and granular, oh, this is it's coming back and forth, it's changing really fast, you're missing the point. That is not the purpose of this
15
beautiful,
minutes
incredible
for
tool,
the next
right?
event.
We built this based on correlation. If the VIX is negative, indices should be going higher, right? If you're following the Australian dollar and whatnot, or the Canadian, right here, let me see if I can give you in a nutshell an example. You see Canadian dollar here, right? Dollar is stronger than Canadian, so Canadian is a little bit bullish at this point. It means crude oil should be moving bullish. So in other words, if a dollar Canadian is going negative, crude oil should be pushing higher. And then if that's the case, right, we're moving into MCL. And this is a trade. You can check on the previous forecast that I provided for you. Here's a daily chart that I've been following for quite a while, and they haven't even actually got off the tendency or the area. This is a stop that I've been holding for quite a while, and it's still holding steady. There hasn't been any move whatsoever in crude oil, right? One of the things we can certainly do is, all right, so let me lessen up a little bit of the load. I'm going to close one of the 5 contracts, and boom, that's it. But my aim is first zone, second zone, third zone. Position trading, one single trade, simple, no complex. If you complicate things, it's just going to get worse. In reality, the stop should be way below here, below the zone, until the first zone is hit. That is how swing trading is all about. Market can come back into the zone, try to gravitate to running stop right at the bottom and come back up again. But I explained already, just check the video below, about the crude oil forecasting. It's the same forecast. It hasn't changed. No new levels, no new targeting. Everything still is the same, right? And today, bullish the crude oil seems to be moving along. And if I want to correlate that, again, if you understand that we're coming up with very intense advanced correlation training later on, that's professional level analysis for day traders. No one is teaching that. So we can see here, the dollar is getting against the Canadians getting weaker right here, meaning Canadian dollar should be boosting up. That means it's going to boost up the crude oil. Boom. I trust the pact that this is going to work out eventually and move along, right? Next, we got gold. Gold is all bullish, looking good, right? So we move into potentially moving to micro gold, right? And here's micro gold. Now, the problem with micro gold, it already hit one of the targets. We got 2, 3 left and a massive potential swing left. But I have so much resistance now, too close to it, that what's left in the meat of the bone? Not much. It might continue moving higher, no doubt about it. But at the same time, I'm moving into waiting for a pullback, just like this couple of pullback area right here. And again, I'm on a daily. I'm going to drop to a 1-hour chart, right? And this is why it's moving higher in the last couple of hours, right? So that's validated. It's just that it hit very critical targeting points for 40.09. It just hit it, and the market is rejecting from it as expected. And it broke above the synergy zone as expected. First, second target, third, fourth, fifth, and go on, so on and so forth. So at this point, I'm late into the trade. I need to let that go. No FOMO involved. It's a miss. Unfortunately, looking good. I missed it, period. Nothing else than just being aware of that, okay? So having said that, the opportunity here might be maybe considering opportunities on the indices, right? So I might expect the market to pull back down and see some sort of a reaction. But as of right now, targeting into the upper side, whatever system you use, that's fine. In order for me to change my mentality is if I get stopped out right here, right? If the prices break below the 25,175 and breaking below the previous day close, this is definitely a complete intended reversal pattern. And this is a 15-minute chart, but on 4-hour chart, it will look like a complete reversal of this candle. And that means these guys are exhausting the top. They trap buyers, including myself, at the top. And basically the market should reverse and come back and revisit zones 1, 2, and 3 again. Okay? So that's the game. Possibly going back and retest the previous day close and push further higher. That could be the game plan as of right now. but in inside they
5 minutes for the next event.
Plenty opportunity possibly to go in that route. Okay, so again, not much of a difference than the same zone and target is that we have, because that's the beauty and the power of position and swing trading. Let me know how you're using the OT. Let me know how beneficial this has come to you, and share your wins. All right, if you got any questions, let us know. Here to help, and looking forward to the next one. As always, share the love with your loved one, and I'll see you in the next one.